Hello, it's that time again. We are talking about Game of Thrones. My name's Adam Cook, and I'm here. Are you going to do that every time an episode's released? We've lost him.
Hi, I'm Colm.
Hello, Colm Ahern, senior
My name is Colm. Hello, Adam. How are you today?
I am fine, thank you. It's a shame, really, that you didn't pull out a guitar and do the theme tune on that or something, or I don't know, maybe a kazoo. Can you get a kazoo for episode 3? Look, listen, we're here to talk about.
I'm definitely getting a kazoo for episode 3.
Can we talk about Game of Thrones, the TellTale series? This is episode 2.
Yes, we can. Yep.
I'll be honest with you. I don't recall what episode 2's called. I was so excited when I got to play it. I don't think I didn't notice. I didn't even notice what it was called.
Fear not, Adam Cook, as I am well aware. It's called The Lost Lords.
Right, that makes sense. Now, because obviously we've both played through it. You've reviewed it. Probably, if you're watching this, you may have read Colm's review, where he gave it out of 10, and yeah, he enjoyed it. It's good.
I did. I very much enjoyed it. Actually, I'm quite enjoying this series.
Yeah, I just think it's fascinating because we both are playing them pretty much at the same time. You're playing on the personal computer and I'm playing on the Xbox One. We both had different experiences, and we both, because you preferred episode 1, whereas I preferred episode 2. But not, I don't think there's a huge amount in it. First things first, we talked about it before. The visuals. I want to get this out of the way because I didn't notice the visuals in as much as there's this weird blurring effect on the backgrounds.
Until Colm Ahern put that little seed into your head.
Exactly that, and now I can't unsee it. There's a scene in this game in particular involving Mira, and oh my word, it's really odd, and I kind of feel like it's this weird thing where TellTale make games that look a certain cartoony style, and this one can't be that, and it's this, I don't know, what do you make of it?
My take on it is that they're probably trying to put the focus on the actual character models and trying to kind of blur out the backgrounds in some fashion so as to to tell their story through the characters and the dialogue and the interactions they're having. However, because the backgrounds look fucking awful at points, you're drawn to them. You know?
Well, you weren't. I wasn't. That's what the point I'm making. I wasn't drawn to them at all until you ruined this for me. But yeah.
Yeah, because I was from the word go in episode 1. I was kind of thinking, what's going on with the backgrounds? And that continues in episode 2. Sadly, I don't know why. I'm guessing this is a thread that's going to be throughout the series.
Choice. It's a decision, isn't it? It's not a mistake.
And I think it's a bad choice.
I agree. Let's talk about what can we talk about? I mean, there's more characters from the TV show in here.
There is.
I don't know that we even want to say who they are because I feel that's. I mean, I think if anyone's looked at the episode list, it shows who's in each episode. There is a picture, if you go to episode 5, of a female character who is presumably going to be in it, as there was for 1 and 2, and I think 4. Oh no, there's 6. In fact, there's 6 episodes.
There's six episodes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure when you go on episode 2, it shows the face of the character who is in it. I think we are allowed to say
he knows
the character.
Nothing. Yeah, he knows nothing.
He knows fuck all.
He actually does know quite a bit. I mean, in this episode particularly, he's a smart man.
He's in it, and I think he is by far the worst cameo that they've had from the TV show. He sounds like a man who they said, "Come here, beautiful boy, sit in the voice booth and just say lines." And he just went, "Okay, I'm beautiful," and then just said a couple of things and fucked off home.
See, this is where we disagree, I think, because I'm quite happy that he's not in it as much as perhaps.
But it's not necessarily the volume of him.
Oh, you really are specifically talking about the delivery.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
the delivery.
I'm with you
I think his delivery is piss poor.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, again, a bit spoilery, but there is another character from episode 1 in it again in episode 2, and I think he's much better, but you think he's worse. So it is one of those opinion things. We've all got them. But I like the fact there's not as much of that this time. I like that they pull back a little bit and because the thing is we talked about this before, and I love that we both agree TellTale have absolutely got Game of Thrones. They get why it is what it is. They get that series, don't they?
Yeah, completely. I mean, they are modeling the flow of the game straight off of the TV show. I can't speak for the books because I haven't read them, but
they're very similar.
If you take the TV show itself, it has those surprise moments. I mean, at points it shows you that everyone is expendable. They're in terms of telling their own story, they're doing very well, and I am with you as well in the sense that I don't want as many moments where you go, oh look, it's so and so from the TV show.
You don't want the Game of Thrones, the TellTale series, to be about Game of Thrones, the TV show. You don't mind the interaction, you don't mind it being the same. But that's actually something I wanted to mention to you because I, for a very brief second, I got a bit annoyed when I was playing this because. I've lost my train of thought, man. That's terrible. That's happening when the mics are hot, isn't it?
Well, if I'll speak, and then you can remember what you were going to say. I don't want as many cameos. However, I must make a point that in the first episode, the people who stood out by leaps and bounds for me were both Cersei and Ramsay Snow. They were brilliant. They didn't come off as people who. Like I said about Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow, they don't come off as these big celebrity TV superstars that have just been told, go on and read off a few lines.
Yeah.
They seem like they care. Their performances are brilliant. And
Dinklage isn't Destiny bot.
No, he's not. He's not, to be fair. But they're, I think without them from the first episode, they just stood out so much in the first episode that without them in this one, there is a little bit of a gap. Now, it is starting to be filled by the characters.
Careful.
The Forrester characters.
You
basically.
see, that's actually what I was going to say that annoyed me a little bit the first time is... when I first started watching Game of Thrones, I remember saying to you and other people, like, I don't know who these people are. Like, there's so many characters introduced that I'm like, I can't keep up. And that happens a bit in episode 2 of Game of Thrones TellTale for me, because I was a bit like, you're referring to this character and this character with such reverence that I should know who you're talking about. But they're not on screen, I don't know who you are. So for a brief minute, I was a bit pissed off, like, come on. And then I was like, actually, no, that's fine, because that is exactly what the TV show does. That's exactly what it does. Like, you do sort of like, I don't know who you're talking about. Like, you've just reeled off 16 fictional names, and I don't know any of them because there's another 20 I've just seen, and it does that a little bit in episode 2. I found like we won't say who, but the main character, I think I'm with you. Reintroduced in episode 2.
Yeah.
I was like, the name rings a bell, but I don't know. And all of a sudden, you're playing as this person. I'm confused. Like, why is he so... And eventually, I sort of realized, but I did actually have to go into the codex afterwards to be 100% sure, because I'd forgotten who, like, the original Forrester Lord even was, because Game of Thrones moves at such a rate of knots.
Yeah, it does.
If you don't keep a fucking spreadsheet, you're lost.
You definitely have to keep up with it. It's not going to wait around.
No.
And I mean, there are pros and cons to that. It's not going to wait around for you. It's just going to, as you say, just rattle off character names and stuff and go, come on, keep up, or you'll just get lost. But they are definitely building their own narrative and trying to build up their own characters within. I don't want to necessarily say within their own universe, because it is still Game of Thrones. You know, there is still King's Landing and other places and stuff like that. But they are building up the House Forrester, I suppose, and everyone's sort of attached to it. Like, actually, one question I do want to ask is that on PC, I didn't really suffer any sort of technical issues. Now, you played this on the Xbox One.
Yeah, I did experience some technical issues, quite drastic ones. So during the opening scene, which I'm guessing is what you're going to use for the underscore to this video.
Yeah, I just want to say, anyone watching this is the first 10, 11, 12, however long this is, minutes of the video.
Having got 9 minutes in, it's good that you've put that out of the way, you know.
Yeah.
But during this scene, depending on how far we get into it, there's a fight sequence. It's a TellTale game, there's an action sequence, you know, that's kind of what they do. And during it, there's a lot of, I suppose they're QTEs, aren't they? There's no other way.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they are. During those, I had quite a few hangs, not specifically hard ones, but I actually failed one. And then because of the way it loads back in and it loads at, say, like point B, which is like the second bit of the scene, it kept hanging. So every time I tried to do the QuickTime event, it hung and I couldn't succeed because it wasn't registering the button press because it had hung. Eventually I got through that, and I didn't have anything like that the rest of the game, but that was very notable, and it annoyed me, to be honest with you. But the rest of the game was absolutely fine. The only other things I would say I noticed is that at the very beginning, you get like the previously on, and then at the end you get next time on, which is not a spoiler. They did Walking Dead and everything. I had like repeating dialogue, very, very peculiar. Though it would be, for example, if you hear a voiceover and he's like, "I'm gonna do this," it would literally go, "I'm gonna do this," and it was, kind of weird.
And it's definitely not. They're not introducing a character with a stutter.
No, because it happened like repeatedly, like 2 or 3 times through each of those, though, and it was also in the previously on. It's very, very odd. But aside from that, fine. Can't speak the PS4 version, and I will say it didn't ruin my enjoyment. Do you know what? I really am enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. Like, I like Tales from the Borderland. I loved The Walking Dead. I loved Bigby Wolf's Wolf Among Us. This has me more excited though. Every time a new episode's out, I just can't wait to play it. Like, I stayed up late to play this, mate. I was up till gone 11 o'clock at night in the evening playing this because I knew.
You fucking, oh my god, Adam!
The thing is, the PR often tell us like this is roughly how long it'll take you. To be honest with you, I thought he woefully underestimated because it took me nearer 2 hours.
I was the same, yeah.
And I knew that. I knew it was at least X long. And I started it knowing it would push me at least till 10:30, and I damn well played it anyway. And for me, that's a massive compliment.
Wow. You are an absolute party animal, Adam Cook.
It's not the truth. That's not true, though, is it?
Not really, no.
Game of Thrones column gets the Colm Ahern tick, the Colm Ahern thumbs up,
The Colm Ahern tick
Fuss
thumbs
Rodar.
up.
I don't know. That's the wrong.
No, it's the wrong series. Yeah, wrong series.
Valamor Gullis. That's when they die, isn't it?
No, it's a spell that Harry Potter casts.
Okay. What's the one in Game of Thrones then?
It was a joke, Adam. I also think you missed my stutter joke. I think you actually took me seriously earlier.
I always take you seriously, Colm Ahern. Should we
end the fucking video?
Thanks for watching. Do like, comment, and subscribe. And Game of Thrones, man. Game of Thrones.